over my build real quick with y'all for PvP, just in case anybody seems to be struggling with it or anything like that. So I'm currently running plasma build, PvP build, so I'm rocking dual beams, ultimate plasmas, rerolled for crit D and damage. And then I have the PZO plasma beam. The reason I go with this is because whenever you activate beam overload, it gives you an ability called technical overload. It's not actually listed here in the tooltip, but it's a significant amount of damage. And then I'm also running the two-piece with the ultimate, along with the console for the three-piece and the weapon fire cycle haste for energy weapon. Really for all weapons. And then you have the Soliton Wave Impeller, which I'm running in my experimental. If you don't have it, you can also run the Graviton Implosion Charger. Offered in a pack recently. My devices, I run Deuterium Surplus. They're one of the better ones. They don't actually cool down other batteries, and they give a really high flight speed and turn rate boost. You run the Discovery two-piece for the hull regen, of course. Running the Fortified competitive impulse engines. Now, for PvE, you would run the Innovative because it relies on your attack abilities, but for PvP, you run the Fortified ones because with your bridge officers, things like engineering team will proc it, science team will proc it, so you have the same amount of procs, and these can be like separate, like heals also, because you run the colony consoles. So, and this particular build is an Exodus snooper build, so it's basically designed to hunt people that are running the Exodus Acta Probat trait, and this build is really good at killing Exodus ships. So I run the Romulan Advanced Prototype Deflector. You can also run the Jem'Hadar one as well, because it gives you stealth detection. But the reason I'm running the Romulan one is because it also gives you stealth. I personally run 5 colony consoles because I like the heal. Of course, these are for plasma because I'm using plasma weapons. Other people only run 4, and they'll put another universal console in here, which I could probably do that with this build. Just as of right now, I'm going with the heals, just because it seems to be working out a little bit better for me in Karat, especially with all the crap going around. So then you also run Lorca's console. I'm running it basically for the crit. Now normally, if you put on the Lorca two-piece for Disruptor or Phaser, it's a lot better. But I'm running a plasma build right now, so really this one's probably can be replaced too, but I've just been running it anyway. The Tachyon Detection Field is excellent for hunting people with Exodus. It works great. You get it from, I think it's the Tier 1 Oberth. DPRM, of course. The Hall Image Refractors, because everybody loves temporary hit points. Every time you activate a heal, you get temp HP, and your colony consoles, they do a lot of healing for you. Elachi Rift Jump to get me out of ice, because ice is a pain, parasitic ice, but Elachi Rift Jump will get you out of ice. Also gives you some accuracy and some energized hull plating, which is, it's nice. The ultimate drone, because of accuracy and crit chance, I mean, it's self-explanatory. It's a nice console. And then also run hostile acquisition for accuracy, control resist, and the forceful inspection is amazing. It's such a great ability. It's a hold, and yeah, it's really nice. Alright, so my bridge officer stations, with this is in the Jem'Hadar Vanguard, of course, the legendary one. But this guy runs science, gem targeting sensors, tractor beam repulsors, because that will also get rid of ice. And it's also in there as a control ability for a trait that I'm running, which I'll show you in a minute. Photonic Officer 2 for Bridge Officer recharging. I'm also running the Bolimer effect as a personal trait too, for Bridge Officer cooldowns, and with that trait and this ability you can essentially get to global. Attack Pattern Lambda 1, because when the developers patched Attack Pattern Lambda, they made it number 1 for all 3. So just run 1. Scatter Volley plus Lambda gives you accuracy and perception, which helps you versus Exodus. So I mean, yeah. Scatter Volley for heals, and to proc super weapon. Beam Overload 3, that's your primary source of damage, plus it'll heal you. Omega 3 for your flight speed, turn rate, damage resist, defense, gives you immunity to movement, debuffs, disables, and teleports, which that's pretty much all what science does. Emergency Power to Engines 1 to proc the duty officer that recharges evasive maneuvers. Intel Team 2 for Exodus. Emergency Power to Aux 3, both gives you stealth and perception. So, yeah, again, helping with Exodus and dealing with Exodus. Engineering Team 1 for, clears, disables, gives you a heal, so on and so forth. And Inertial Dampeners 1. Alternatively, this can be Sif 1, since they did somewhat fix evade target lock. I guess you could get away with running the Sif placate loop again, but I'm still running this because as of right now, if you activate this before someone hits you with evade target lock, you're immune to the disable. So, and then of course Science Team to clear Science debuffs and what little healing it pretty much does. Alright, so that's the bridge officers and all the gear. So traits, invincible, because I'm that guy. Makes you unkillable, gives you a lot of bonus, basically a lot of healing. Super weapon for beam overload, that's a given. Rhythmic rumble, that's a given. Activating inertia dampeners or pilot abilities will, damage resist weapon power cost. It's pretty much a go-to for every attack. I run invasive maneuvers for its defensive capabilities. It's a really good trait. It serves me well. When that new T6 comes out that makes you untargetable and gives you 100% crit chance, that's probably going to go there. Weapon emitter overdrive for the accuracy, crit chance, so on and so forth. Exodus Acta Probat, because, if you have intel, you're running this. It gives you stealth whenever you activate Intel Team, makes you untargetable. Yeah, unless they have a higher perception than you, they can go and not shoot you. Crit chance, viral engine overload, because basically speed is the number one thing. If you take away their speed, they're fucked. Pardon my language, sorry. Advanced targeting systems for crit severity, and then the two damage resist ones. These last three are probably replaceable if you want to run something else. I just run these because I like them for my build. And then pseudo sub for placates when you activate a hull heal. Unconventional systems, that's for those two control bridge officer abilities, the jam targeting sensors and the tractor beam repulsors, because it reduces the recharge time to your universal consoles, which is extremely helpful. Then you have Fresh from R&R, which will reduce your intel team and all your team abilities. Give your all, which is dodge 20% of all your incoming damage. A good day to die, which lets you use go down fighting at any time. Self-modulating fire is a really good one to run, especially with beams. Smuggler's luck, because I hate control debuffs. They're annoying. Adaptive offense, crit chance, crit severity. Bolimer effect, because it's just so good at recharging everything. Intelligence agent attaché for critical chance to restore your captain abilities. And then, of course, fragment of AI tech for control expertise. And then last but not least are my duty officers. I'm running a Romulan overload DOF that gives you shield bleed through. I'm running an engineering and pilot Borg duty officer. If I had like a tactical one or probably a science one, I'd run that instead. But at the moment, this is the one that I have. The Oxta Dampeners DOF, also from Romulan. The emergency con hologram that you get from the Phoenix box. 100% cooldown rate duty officer for batteries, and kill L for removing all debuffs from yourself. So that's the build. I hope that helped, and I will catch y'all later. Have a good one.